Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to the E-50 factory. So this is the final video on this Model Collect E-50 Jagdtiger 2. So it's been an interesting build and an enjoyable build. I did quite a bit of kit bashing on this, as those of you who have looked at the previous videos will know. But for anyone that hasn't, I replaced the track guards and mud guards with aluminium from a drinks can, and that worked out quite well. They folded up nicely and went on there. They're nice thickness. I was able to do some damage to them, bend them about a bit, so I'll definitely be doing that in the future. While we're on this side, I decided what the plan was, and what I keep saying this and I will do it, was to do some milliput tops. But I came across a post on Instagram and someone had used the gloves, the modelling gloves. This is the one that I cut up, so I just cut a chunk out of it, and that worked really well. I mean, how it is on there, I'm happy with how it is. It can look better, and I know I can improve on it. It's like any of these things, if you're gonna hopefully improve your modelling, then you've got to keep trying things and keep pushing your boundaries, and be prepared to make mistakes, which I did with this. So what I did was I cut it out, I sprayed it, and then I added it onto I cut out some damaged parts here just to make it look torn and tatty. Put it onto the tank, glued it down with super glue, which works really well. There doesn't appear to be any reaction between the glue and the glove and the surface you're gluing it to. So I was pleased with that. I then went over it with a wash that was enamel based, so with oil thinner, odorless thinner, and that reacted badly with the rubber. It kind of bubbled up and wrinkled around where the glue points were. So I was kind of thinking, oh no, I should have done that first. So there's my lesson learned with this tarps. So I tried to peel off what I could, and peeled enough of it off so that I could then put a second layer over, cover up the first layer. So this one I weathered before I put it on, again with the enamel wash, excuse me, and it rolled up, but then as it dried it was easy to unroll again, and then I laid that over and stuck it down. So that's the way forward: paint it, weather it, and then stick it onto the vehicle. So I will definitely be using that system again and just trying to refine it. Other bits, as we're on this side, I just added planks which are made out of balsa, just to kind of break up the silhouette of the vehicle, and again just add some different colours in, A, from a modelling perspective to make it just look a bit more interesting, and B, from if this was a real vehicle in theatre, it might be something that the crew would do, as a bit of a camouflage to break it up. The barrel is a replacement metal barrel as well. It's a 12.8 centimetre barrel, excuse me, and I picked that one because I like the pepper pot muzzle brake on it, to be honest. It was the right calibre for this vehicle, and the barrel was quite a bit longer, so there's a fair bit of it, probably 50mm or so, back inside the turret that you can't be seen. So I eyed it up to get a length that I sort of was happy with, that I thought looked okay, wasn't too long, wasn't too short. So yeah, so if I flip it round, and then again on this side I did the same thing, made the aluminium track guards, again added more planks, added this corrugated sheet, which I think I got from Fog Models, but maybe I didn't. I got it off of eBay, but that's probably a place to look if you're hunting around for that. Yeah, the tracks were not kit tracks. I was a bit skeptical about the kit tracks. They seemed a bit vague in the instructions as to fitting them. They were Lincoln length. So in the end I decided to go with these tracks, which are Ryefield Models tracks and drive sprocket from their Jagdtiger, because I've got replacement tracks for the Jagdtiger, so these were essentially spares, and it added a lot of work, and in reality the amount of time that I put into making these tracks, because they were quite fiddly, and changing the sprockets, I could have probably put into the kit tracks, and probably came up with a decent look. So I mean, it's just one of those things. Again, as I said, you experiment with things and you try things, and sometimes they pay off and sometimes they don't. And I mean, visually I think it pays off. I'm pleased with how they look, these tracks. I can't knock them for that, but they did add a lot of extra time to the build, which may not have been necessary. So yeah, that's it. And then just as I weathered it, I wanted to go for this dusty look, so I used a combination of AK enamels, which I like using, and oil paints, buff titanium, particularly on here, which again I like using, sort of oil paints, etc. So yeah, overall that's the process, and I'm pleased with how it came out. The paint obviously is the Attacker red oxide range, which is that one. This is their acrylic paint. I know they do an enamel or a lacquer paint as well, but that set's the acrylic, and yes, sprayed lovely out of my airbrush, no real issues at all. So yeah, I enjoyed using that set, and I will use it again in the future, but I've kind of got that out of my system now. I've done a few kits that have had camouflage chassis painted and then red oxide turrets. I quite like that look, so I've done that on a couple of builds, and I've always wanted to do a complete red oxide vehicle again, because I just think it looks pretty cool. So yeah, so as I say, I've got that out of my system now, so the next vehicle that I do, which I'll talk about in a second, will be back to being fully camouflaged. So if we put that to one side, and any questions you want to ask about it, if you want to add some comments, or how I did it, why I did it, etc, etc, then please do. Currently I'm putting together this building, so I just got one, that's the side, and there's that outer side, so like that, and the other side is here, so that goes on the outside there. European farmhouse it's described as. I've got this from Scale Models HQ, so you could have a look on their website, and if you wanted to, there's a offer code you can use, which is BL10, which will get you 10% discount on everything on the site. I have built one of the model, come on, spit it out, Bob, one of the diorama buildings before, which, can you see it here? I'll just lift this up a second, which is that one in there, factory gate diorama. So this will eventually go towards being a diorama as well, although I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it and what vehicle I'm going to put with it, but yeah, that's what I'm currently building. The next kit that I'm going to build, and I'm going to do another video right after this, is going to be another Model Collects kit. I'm having a year of what if builds, so I've done this I've got the next kit which I've got is the Model Collect E-50 Tiger 3 with 10.5 centimeter barrel, so I should be doing that. And then I've got various. I've got 2 E100s to build, and Japanese Horai too, which whether I'll get them all done by the end of the year, considering it's nearly June, is probably doubtful, but we'll see how we get on. But the Tiger 3 I'm building completely out of the box, with the exception of I've bought some engine grills for it because the kit doesn't come with any PE, but otherwise it'll all be straight out of the box, so it should be a fairly quick build. Not that I'm interested in building them quickly, but there'll be a lot less time consuming bits and pieces added on. So I'll leave that there. What I must try and do, I think, probably is for the next build, is do some more videos, including showing the stuff that I do, I think, with the weathering and what have you. I know lots of people out there know how to weather, and lots of people have put videos on YouTube showing weathering, so I'm not doing anything different, and there's a lot of people out there that are much better than I am at it, but I will do that and see if people are interested, or see what their feelings are on it. So yeah, so I'll leave that there. Coming up now will be a bit of a montage just to show the whole build from start to finish, and then I'll leave it there. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch up with you soon. Cheers.